it is Ava and Esther again. And today we're going to talk about something that I feel like people die for, the oatmeal every morning. But today Esther's going to tell us why we might want to switch that up if that's what you're doing.
Yes. So there's nothing wrong with oats as a perfect grain that, may have grown in a really good earth and in a garden that your grandmother waters with the love and care. But the problem is that the commercial oats that we get are pretty cheap. They're harvested in mass and they're stored in mass, and it's just the quality drops with each step. So if you go oats, steel cut oats are the way to go, but still they cause inflammation. Inflammation causes aging. Aging equals wrinkles. And also agitation of the stomach lining. You know, your stomach lining is really thin, and it has it's like it's movable, right? And the inside is kind of slimy, and that slime is what protects the stomach from the stomach acid burning it, right? So there's a whole system. What happens when you eat oats, it breaks down that whole system. So what's happening is to break down those grains that are just not processed enough for our body to recognize as food. Your body actually releases more acid and it burns that slimy part, and that's when you have that little bit of a bloat. And there's been studies that I've read in universities with athletes that show that they will have swelling of the joints, and you do not want to have swelling in the joint area, especially if you're working out and lifting heavy. And there's ways with food against, food is our medicine. You can heal that with turmeric and sweet potato, which helps in the development of muscle and bone and the relationship on the joint in between. But why fix something if you can just not break it? And the perfect replacement, well, there's many, but the perfect replacement is buckwheat. Buckwheat is not a wheat, it's actually a seed. And a lot of times the way you see it in stores in the United States is that it's already roasted, it's slightly brown. Some Asian markets do sell it light green, which means that it's raw and you can roast it and then cook it. So a variety, but it's way more rare, so I dare you to find it and tell me where it is. And but buckwheat. So the cool thing is, because it's already roasted, it's technically already cooked. So if you want to cook it, there's two ways to do it. You can, one, boil water, drop it in there. It's just like rice, 2-to-1. You can actually use a rice cooker to make it, and it makes it great. You can replace that water with bone broth or chicken broth if you want to make it more flavorful. And I always like to throw in some carrots, but more soluble and insoluble fiber. That's just my specialty. And but another way that you can cook it is you can actually just submerge it in something liquid. So I put it in my yogurt.
Yummy.
I just put it in my yogurt at night. I do add a little bit of water because it thickens it out, and I mix it up. And in the morning, I just add whatever berries that you would add, or whatever, a little bit of honey if you like that, or maybe, raw maple syrup, whichever way. You can even put a little cinnamon and nutmeg. But the cool thing about buckwheat is you can go savory. So you could totally do a little bit of pepper and turmeric in it, even in your yogurt. And if you like, I know that you like savory over sweet. So there's definitely a way to go with that. And then with that, you put some cayenne or even garlic, and it tastes amazing. And you can also use buckwheat as your cereal. So you can take the buckwheat, have it boiled and ready for you, and then just pour milk over it in the morning.
That sounds good. And even right now, there's the overnight oats craze. We could do that with the buckwheat.
Overnight buckwheat. Same exact process, same exact steps, but way easier to digest, no inflammation, no swelling, and you don't have to have downtime healing. Our body is always in a healing process all the time. Even if you don't put Neosporin on or anything, your little scratch will heal unless you keep, scraping the scab. The rest of your body works the same way. So the goal is to not interrupt the healing that our body is doing all the time. And if you can replace things with easily digestible, easily acceptable by your body items, then you're just always on the up and up and never having any issues.
I love that. To hear the connection with all these things we could avoid that we don't think of. Why not just everything we put in our body help us and heal us instead of all those things that it could do, which we want to avoid. So thank you. Gosh, now everything we put in our bodies could help us every day. Guys, we need to do this for ourselves. We only have one body.
Yeah, it's the
All right.
temple.
The temple. Thank you, Esther, again. And I know you guys want more Esther, so stay tuned.
Bye,
Bye.
This is
Exclusive.
Go! Go! Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way.